Now to a major story from the NFL, which will have significant implications for the sport. One of the most prominent head coaches in the game has filed a lawsuit alleging systemic racism and that the NFL is being managed, quote, much like a plantation. In evidence which has been made public, Brian Flores reveals an excruciating text exchange with legendary coach Bill Belichick, which allegedly showed a sham interview process for the New York Giants head coach job. Flores claims the rules in place to prevent discrimination aren't working. Flores admits he has risked his career by filing the lawsuit, which alleges that the league has discriminated against Flores and other black coaches for racial reasons, denying them positions as head coaches, offensive and defensive coordinators and quarterback coaches, as well as general managers. Well, his sacking from Miami at the end of the season is seen as typical for black coaches who are not given the time other coaches have to succeed. It noted that Flores led the Dolphins to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time since 2003. Well, here are the key points from the lawsuits, which claims the NFL is segregated and managed like a plantation. It says the owners watch the games from their luxury boxes, while their majority black workforce put their bodies on the line. It's alleged Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross told Flores he would pay him $100,000 for every loss during the coach's first season because he wanted the club to tank so it could get the draft's top pick. Well, the lawsuit alleged that Ross then pressured Flores to break tampering rules, similar to tapping up in football. When Flores refused, he was treated as the angry black man who was difficult to work with. The evidence also shows the New York Giants briefing that they had hired Brian Daboll as head coach this year before Flores had even been interviewed for the position. There are claims of another sham interview as well in 2019 with the Denver Broncos. Flores says he was interviewed only because of the Rooney Rule. Now, Flores released a statement saying, "God has gifted me with a special talent to coach the game of football, but the need for change is bigger than my personal goals. In making the decision to file the class action complaint today, I understand that I may be risking coaching the game that I love and that has done so much for my family and me. My sincere hope is that by standing up against systemic racism in the NFL, others will join me to ensure that positive change is made for generations to come." Well, one of the most remarkable pieces of evidence was a text exchange between Flores and legendary coach Bill Belichick. The former Patriots head coach thought he was messaging Brian Daboll and congratulated him on getting the position with the Giants. Inadvertently, he had messaged Brian Flores, who was about to be interviewed for the job. Here's a screenshot which has been made public overnight. After being congratulated on getting the job, Flores double checks that Belichick is talking to the right person. Belichick responds, apologising, and says they are naming Daboll. Flores messages back saying, "Thanks, Bill." Well, the Giants have responded, saying they interviewed an impressive and diverse group of candidates, and ultimately they hired who they felt was the most qualified for the job. Flores also accuses quarterback Hall of Famer John Elway of turning up an hour late to an interview in 2019 for the Denver Broncos. He says he was only interviewed for the position to comply with the Rooney Rule. In a statement, the Broncos said the allegations are blatantly false. So Flores has also accused the owner of the Miami Dolphins of asking him to tank games in order to get the #1 draft pick by offering him a $100,000 bonus for each loss during the 2019 season, as well as being asked to break tampering rules on recruitment whilst with the team. Flores didn't comply with the request and says he was ostracised as a result because of his race. The Dolphins say they vehemently deny any allegations of racial discrimination and are proud of the diversity and inclusion throughout their organisation. The NFL has responded by saying that they will defend against these claims, which are without merit. Well, we spoke to Sky Sports NFL's Jeff Reinbold earlier, and he admits it's widely acknowledged within the sport that the Rooney Rule isn't working.
It's a common understanding amongst people in the industry that it isn't working, and just like with the way it is in life, people are going to find their way around the rules if they can, if it doesn't suit them. And for the owners, the change has got to come at the ownership level. The owners have got to adhere to the Rooney Rule by the letter, and they have to, create opportunity for these minority coaches, or we're going to continue along this path. And it's not good enough, and it's something that has to change. And oftentimes change is painful, and this is going to be embarrassing to the league. It's going to be painful to the league. It's going to be extremely painful for Brian Flores, because when you go through a lawsuit like this, the NFL is going to defend this thing, and the clubs are going to defend it vigorously, their positions, and his name will be dragged through the dirt on this, and it's probably going to cost him his career. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch this thing unfold, and I'm hopeful for the league. I'm hopeful for football. I'm hopeful for the fans, and for minority coaches, and that good will come out of this. And like I say, it's oftentimes it has to be painful and public, and but hopefully the true change will come, and not just cosmetic change. We don't need any more cosmetic change. We need true change.